Today's video is going to be 5 tips on how to be a better trader on Robinhood. Make sure you stick around for the whole video. The tips kind of get more important as the video progresses. So if you appreciate this, hit a like on the video and always sub to my channel for more content. So the first tip I have today is pretty basic, but it is a really important one, and a lot of beginner investors don't do this. So like it says here, you need to have a loose plan on what you're planning on doing with the stock. Let's say we're looking at NRZ investment here. Maybe we decide that it is a uptrending stock, so we're going to buy in at 768. You should have a loose plan on when you plan to exit and a loose plan on when you plan to cut losses, because if you're going to bag hold stocks, that just usually doesn't work out. It's better to cut your losses, especially if you are trying to be a trader. So just having something written down somewhere, whether it's your phone. Most people using Robinhood are probably doing the trades on their phone anyway, so just put a note in your phone on your rough plan that you are going to execute on a stock. Obviously you can update a plan because you can't foresee everything that happens with stocks, obviously, but just to have a loose guideline for yourself to keep yourself in check will help you profit more over time, because again, you'll have a price point where you need to cut profits. You already did the looking and the research on it, so if you have that written down, it helps you, because when you're going through the stock movements of the day, you can reference your note and realize that when you made that decision, it wasn't an emotional time for you. And what I mean by that is when you're watching these prices go up and down and there's money on the line, that affects you emotionally. So just having that written down can actually help you make a better decision, because again, when you put that in your notes, it was when you were doing research, there wasn't anything going on. So now my next tip is to do multiple buys. Basically average in when you are trying to buy in an uptrending stock. Let's say you buy in at this point here and you just want to confirm that the stock is heading in the right direction. So instead of putting all of your money into the price or the stock at that point in time, maybe do 25% and then do another 25% if it keeps heading up. You can decide what amount you want to do, but I have seen a lot more success personally when I buy into it as it's going up. That way, if you realize that maybe you did something wrong, it's not heading in the right direction, you can quickly cut your losses and you will lose less money overall. And that also applies to selling. If you aren't 100% sure if you are ready to sell out of a position, you could sell half of it. Maybe it continues to rise a little bit more, you make a little bit more money. It kind of goes both ways, but mostly you want to do it to be able to cut losses if you decide that a stock is not moving in the right direction. So my third tip for you is to do price analysis and basically any fundamental analysis outside of Robinhood. It's no secret that Robinhood's charting is extremely basic, but I'm going to put a screenshot of the same exact stock from Robinhood and Thinkorswim on the screen. As you can see, they kind of paint a different picture. Everybody looks at charts differently, so for me, I have a more clear understanding using the Thinkorswim platform. This is a completely free platform that you can just use. Unfortunately, the mobile version doesn't appear to be able to allow you to use all these indicators, but I usually do my price analysis on a computer anyway, so that's why I would recommend doing your price analysis outside of Robinhood. It is a lot easier to see what direction a stock is moving in. You can still execute the trades on Robinhood, but like I said, it's just a lot easier to see a more clear direction of a price movement on a stock using these indicators and a platform that updates every single minute. Sometimes Robinhood is 15 minutes behind on the price you actually see on your phone, so obviously that's going to be more difficult to get in at the right point if it's not accurate information. So now tip number 4 kind of tails on to what I was just saying about Robinhood's price being behind. Sometimes it is up to 15 minutes behind what the actual market is doing. So knowing that, that's just another reason to do that price analysis outside of Robinhood. But on top of that, don't do market orders on Robinhood. You want to do a limit order. That way you get in on the price that you want. So let's say you want to do a buy here on NRZ. You just hit this arrow here, limit order, and you will lock in the price that you want. That order will not execute unless you get that price. If you do a market order, I don't know if you guys have ever experienced this, but I've bought a stock and it was several dollars above what the price point that I wanted to get in on it and what the price was reflected on my phone. So always do a limit order on Robinhood, mostly because their stuff may not be 100% accurate. and on top of it, it'll just lock you in at the price you want. So another tip with these limit orders is to go 1 penny above. It'll be easier to fill. Yes, you'll be losing a little bit of profits, but it'll make it fill more likely. Sometimes if you go in at that price, just because Robinhood again could be behind, it's just not as likely to get filled. So just adjusting it by 1 penny there, you're more likely to get filled immediately, which usually when you're doing a trade, you want to jump in right away because it could shoot up kind of thing. The last tip I have for this video is to always lock in profits. You guys should have had a loose plan to know when to exit a stock. So let's say you bought in around 880 and you ride this up to 910, which was the point that you said you were going to sell at. I would just execute that. If you're able to properly execute a plan and collect profits from that, that is something you want to practice doing. It'll help you grow as a trader. And on top of that, if you're able to profit on a stock trade, that is something most people can't do consistently. So just exercise that and you will be a better trader because of it. For people that follow me, you know I'm not really a trader, but these basic tips should help you in general, whether it's cutting losses, doing better price analysis, that kind of a thing. So if you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching, and make sure you just show some love on the video. I will see you guys in the next one.